So hello everyone. Thank you. I would like to start. Thank you, Tori and Miguel, to join us here in this live. Just want to first of all present Tori. Tori is here with us as a patient representative, and she's been working through epilepsy sparks in the Neurosense project, and we are very grateful about that. And also Miguel is the project manager of the Neurosense. So welcome everyone.
Thank
So today we'll be interviewing Tori. Hello, Tori.
Hi, great role reversal here. Yeah,
Yes. So how are you doing?
very good. A little bit nervous actually, but I'm very good. Thank you.
Okay. So for everyone on the other side of the screen to know more about you, can you tell us some words about you?
Sure. So I'm a fellow human based in London, in the UK. I am 44, female, and I am founder of Epilepsy Sparks and Epilepsy Sparks Insights, the podcast. And I do lots of talks, speeches about epilepsy and the morbidities that often go with it, such as the psychiatric issues, and even I talk about SUDEP sometimes. And this is all because I'm a person with an epilepsy, and I think it's crazy that there's a lot of stigma out there and misunderstanding about the epilepsies and the lives of people affected around the world.
Okay. Thank you so much. So today on the 10th of January we celebrate the International Epilepsy Day, right? So
Yep.
for you, what is like living with an epilepsy?
Sorry, what was that? Sorry.
For you, what is like living with an epilepsy?
Oh, well, for me, it's delightful. I mean, no, to be fair, it's changed over time, right? So, I was diagnosed when I was 10, and when I was younger, the impact was more severe than it is today. And the reason for that is that I was on more drugs then, and growing up until I had surgery in my early 30s. I still take drugs today, which affect my quality of life. So that's the first thing. It's changed over time. But there are certainly limitations. I find it a bit frustrating when people say, you can do anything. And it's like, nobody can do anything, whether you have epilepsy or not, right? So I can't be a commercial aircraft pilot, which I wanted to be, or a dentist or a surgeon, for legal but more ethical reasons and also cognitive reasons. So, but then I suppose, especially as I've supposedly matured, I realize that there are certain things that I can do, and I try and focus on those these days. But, epilepsy is, at least in my case, is something that I think the drugs are one massive issue, and how they affect quality of life, mood, as well as cognition, social life, personal lives and stuff. I've never been really nervous about what other people think, to be honest, because I think epilepsy is a disease that forms part of my life, but is not me. And that's the way I've always looked at it, but that's not the normal way of looking at it. So, and then the SUDEP aspect, which I know we're going to be talking about, is really important. It's something that wasn't brought up with me until much later on in the day. And I'm very happy to talk about SUDEP as well. So,
Yes, exactly what we are going next. As you know, Tori, and you have been a good team member of us at Neurosense. At Neurosense, we really want to develop a medical device that could predict and prevent SUDEP. As you know, there is no solution out there. And we have this research project with a lot of research centers around Europe. And this is really our mission in this consortium. So, but one of the things that we do is to have a user-centered approach in the design of such a medical device. So, but one of the limitations that we have is that when we try to speak about sudden death in epilepsy or SUDEP, many people don't know exactly what is it. So, uh, so how important is SUDEP awareness, or who should be communicating the SUDEP to people with epilepsy and carers?
Well, it depends who you speak to, right? But my personal opinion is that I would like to be respected as a fellow human who can actually at least take some responsibility for managing their risks. And you don't know how to do that unless you know what those risks are. And so that's, for me, why it's really important to talk about SUDEP and then help, and so I think we should help identify people what exactly, like how high their risk is, and how then they can minimize their risk. So not just say, oh, by the way, sorry, but you might suddenly die, okay, how do we minimize those risks? And then also, I think what is really important is to give people realistic hope for the future. So introduce us to things like research into SUDEP prediction and risk minimization and prevention, like we're doing at Neurosense. I always compare talking about SUDEP to people as in the same way that you would talking to a child about crossing the road, because you tell a child, right, that you have to learn to cross the road, darling. You have to look both ways and listen and try and minimize your risk of getting injured by a car. But you still might get hit by a car and you still might die. Basically, we tell children that. But we want them to live so they continue and they minimize their risk. And that's the way that I look at my life and the potential risk of SUDEP. And that's also, and I used to be at very high risk of SUDEP, by the way, very high risk. I'm not now, thank goodness, but I used to be. And so I think people deserve to know about this. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and in that quest, you have been an amazing ambassador of our project. Thank you very much for that, sorry. And you also been a team member in designing a wearable device model to predict and prevent SUDEP. This is our goal. So, why is this Neurosense project important, and how does it feel important for you to be part of it?
Well, it's cool, right? It's fun. It's exciting. We're talking about science. We're talking about algorithms. But we're also talking about getting insight from real people affected. So, is this something? What do you think of this thing? And so I think it's almost like getting different communities who have originally or for a long time been almost segregated, siloed. So scientists, clinicians, patients, families, and bringing them together to try and improve the lives of people in the future. And also managing their expectations, right? We don't know. This is science. We don't know what the outcomes will be, but let's get everybody involved. And it's a really cool community. Yeah.
Thank you, Tori, and thank you for all your support in the Neurosense project. As you know, we are in the very exploratory phases, so we don't want overbroadness. It's very important so that everyone knows that there is no solution out there to predict or prevent SUDEP. So we are just scientists, persons with epilepsy, carers, physicians, all stakeholders here to explore what could be future therapeutic solutions. So thank you so much, Tori, for this time that you spent with us. Thank you for being an amazing ambassador for the Neurosense project, and thank you for you to celebrate with us this International Epilepsy Day.
Thank you very much. Thanks for including me, and thanks for thinking of people and caring about people affected by the epilepsies. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tori.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.